So this is a quick recording to recover how you place a tracing template or an art template inside of Adobe Illustrator. So we're going to start with an open Adobe Illustrator blank document, the size we need. And what I'm going to do is go underneath the File menu to Place. I'm going to select the file that I want to do. Now normally you would click on Template and click on Place. And it places the item as a template. It does a couple very important things. Puts it on its own layer. It locks that layer. It creates a brand new layer for you to trace on. And it dims it out to 50% so that you can see your lines as you draw it. Another important thing that placing artwork as a template does is it allows us to view the artwork in both modes, in both the outline mode as well as the preview mode. Whereas normally you wouldn't be able to see it in the outline mode. So that's really a good policy to place it as a template. And in fact, if the artwork, if I wanted to make it very large on the page, you see how big Mickey is, that would be okay. But because it comes in so large, we cannot control the size when we place it as a template that way. So instead, I want to show you, we're going to place it not as a template, and we're going to have to manually make it into a template. And these are the steps. I'm going to click on Place. I'm going to select the artwork. I'm not going to check any of the bottom boxes there, the link or the template. I'm going to go ahead and click Place. And you'll notice the cursor, like all the Adobe products, sort of gets loaded up with the image. I can now click and drag to determine the size that I want to make the image. Oops. There we go. And it placed it there. Let me do that again. Okay, we'll place it one more time to show you that process since it kind of went off screen with the mouse there. I'm going to place. We're going to select the Mickey Mouse image. Make sure that link or template are not checked. Click Place. And I'm going to click and drag. And we can determine then how big to make the artwork. Now, since we did it that way, it's only halfway done. I need to create another layer for us to trace on. So I'm going to right away change the name to Trace Art here. And of course, you're probably going to want to use more than one tracing layer. I'm going to go back to my template layer. I'm going to rename it Template. And then I'm going to double click on this and call up some of the template options. So I want to click on Template. You see how it dims the images to 50%, and it also creates a lock, and it allows me to view it in both the preview view as well as the outline view. So I'll click OK, and we'll see, okay, there's our tracing template. And if you want to see if it works, you can go underneath the view, you can go into outline view, and you'll notice you still see the template in the outline view, whereas if you just place an object, it's only visible in the preview view. So I want to be on the right template. I'm going to click on the trace art here. I'm going to start tracing this template using my Bezier curves. And I'm going to make a quick mistake there. That's okay. I want to show editing again. As you kind of trace around this artwork. I'm not really going to continue. I'm going to zoom in for you to see this though. Correction, I can go back to my arrow tools, and the big tool I think that's helpful is this hollow or white arrow tool, the direct selection tool. When I zoom in, and I really should have been zoomed in when I was tracing to start with, allows me to select an individual path to move it. It allows me to select the handles to kind of move those handles to more accurately match the artwork. I can move this point, okay? And I can even, by clicking on the, I think it's the Option key, make a compound handle by dragging the handle. So the handle can go in two directions, two separate directions, and get even more efficient with my points as I do the trace here of Mickey. So a little bit about placing your artwork so that you have an effective template. If you have any questions at all, don't forget you can always ask me.